Full Gear is this Saturday taking place from the Forum in Inglewood, California, baby, and AEW has got quite a card for one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year. And of course, we gotta talk about the main event. We gotta start with the absolute best match on the show because Maxwell Jacob Friedman defends his Triple B, his AEW World Heavyweight Championship against the leader of Bullet Club Gold. No, not Cardblade. I'm talking about Switchblade himself, Jay White, in a singles match, in a much-awaited singles match. And let's just make one thing very clear. Even though Jay White might walk out with that world title around his waist or on his shoulder, he is not the world champion just yet because he has yet to defeat the best performer, the best entertainer, the best superstar on AEW's roster. And every single time, every single week on Dynamite, every single week of AEW TV, MJF has pretty much been on the losing end or on the beatdown against Bullet Club Gold. And that will continue because MJF, I believe, is going to lose the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships at Full Gear during the pre-show against the Guns. Juice Robinson, he's crazy as hell. Like, he's just unleashed completely. I love it. Jay White might make an appearance on the pre-show, cause a distraction, help the Guns get some tag team gold back around their waist, get some legitimacy around Bullet Club Gold. So that is something that's going to keep on happening for MJF in the meantime. But for the main event, there is absolutely no way MJF loses the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Simply put, all the stories revolve around MJF and that Triple B and that World Championship. Whoever's wearing the devil mask in AEW, I still think it's Jack Perry. A lot of people think it's CM Punk. Again, we'll have to wait and see how that pays off later on. It might be Adam Cole and the rest of the Kingdom. Again, it's just something we'll just have to wait and see. Samoa Joe has offered his services to tag team with MJF during the pre-show, help him try to retain the tag team titles against the Guns, but at a cost because, well, Samoa Joe pretty much made his intentions clear last week when he vacated the Ring of Honor World Television Championship and pretty much called his shot, saying that he was going to target MJF in his world title. Not only that, Wardlow is somewhere out there stalking, chasing, paying very close attention to whatever Max is going to be doing, and he definitely wants a shot at the world title. So just based on those three stories, along with Bullet Club Gold, along with Jay White, along with all this story heading into Full Gear, I simply don't believe MJF is set to lose the title in Los Angeles, California, come Saturday, Today's the 16th, so November 18th. I don't think that's actually gonna be taking place this Saturday. But again, anything can happen. If you have to ask me right now, MJF retains his World Championship against Jay White in the main event. In the pre-show, though, Samoa Joe might help him, might be tagging with him for that match. It might be someone else, but the grand scheme of things, the end result of that tag team contest is definitely going to be with Austin and Colton Gunn getting some tag team gold around their waist. We got a singles match for the Women's World Championship. And again, this is pretty obvious. I just made a video of it yesterday. Timeless Toni Storm has to defeat Hikaru Shida for the Women's World Championship at Full Gear. There's absolutely no reason to not have her win this match and have her become Women's World Champion once again. Her character work, the entertainment value that she brings to the table. Everybody knows she can damn well go in that ring just as good as Hikaru Shida herself. And again, it's her character, and the thing, we need to spark up that division once again because she is a fantastic champion. I'm not trying to put her down. As a champion, character-wise, she's a little bit vanilla. And there's a lot more, and there's a lot of vanilla in the women's division in AEW. So you need something different. You need something that catches the audience's eye. And baby, that's timeless Toni Storm, if there ever was one. So I'm picking Toni Storm for the win. Marilyn Monroe herself, she's going to be Women's World Champion once again. And hell, we'll see what happens after that. We'll see the segments with the title after that. That's something that I cannot wait for. We've got a 6-man tag team match, trios contest. The Icon Sting tagging with Darby Allin, tagging with the Rated R Superstar, Adam Copeland, baby. Adam Copeland, Sting, Darby Allin face off against the team of Father of the Year, current, still reigning, defending, undisputed TNT champion Christian Cage on the run of his life. One of the few veteran superstars that I am enjoying currently in today's professional wrestling world. Again, it's just my opinion. Not a big fan of having them in the spotlight for too long. They are veteran wrestlers. They had their time during the Attitude Era. They had their time during the Ruthless Aggression Era. Christian Cage had his time during the TNA Era, but he was just doing way too much great work to be denied. And he's tagging with Luchasaurus. He's tagging with his brand new son, Nick Wayne. And baby, this 6-man tag team match, I wouldn't mind it opening the show, because again, open the damn show with the Rated R Superstars entrance music. That's going to get everybody pumped up for this match. But I gotta give the win to the heels in this case. Simply put, Sting, Darby Allin, Adam Copeland, 3 names, overpowered as hell. It's pretty obvious to say that they should win this match, but Christian Cage is gonna pull one out of his ass. I firmly believe that. And that 6-man tag team match, Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, they're going over with underhanded tactics, of course, and that's gonna continue the next few months, the next few weeks of stories going into World's End in December. Orange Cassidy defends his international championship against Jon Moxley in a rematch from All Out in Chicago, Illinois. Jon Moxley returns to action after that unfortunate concussion at the hands of Rey Fenix. And again, a pretty obvious answer. And again, it's obvious to me. It's obvious in the way that I would book this card, because I would simply place that championship back where it rightfully belongs. Jon Moxley already beat Orange Cassidy at All Out in Chicago a few months ago. He was not going to lose to Rey Fenix. He was not supposed to drop that title to Rey Fenix. The proof is right there that they had Orange Cassidy take that title off of Rey Fenix. So, logic dictates that Moxley regains the championship. As simple as that. We've already seen Orange Cassidy's long-winded fighting champion, underdog, fight against all odds, championship reign. We do not need to see that again. But the BCC, Jon Moxley, and the International Championship itself needs legitimacy. It needs to go up even higher on the totem pole. And Jon Moxley, one of the top stars in AEW, is exactly what that championship needs. Jon Moxley for the win. He beats Orange Cassidy. Not in an easy fashion, but he's going to win no matter what. We got a Texas Death Match. Again, this is a match very reminiscent to Hangman Adam Page. And because it's a match that Hangman Adam Page is so familiar with, I'm going to give the win to Swerve Strickland and his Mobile Embassy, his affiliates. Again, you need to give Swerve some momentum. You need to give him some actual accolades, some actual accomplishments, something that could actually back up all the trash talking that he does every single week, and the way he carries himself. He carries himself like a badass. He carries himself like he owns the place. But here's the thing. He hasn't been champion anytime soon. He's not going to be champion anytime soon, it seems. And he's not getting the wins that he needs to get to make the fans actually believe that he can beat a former world champion in Hangman Adam Page. Furthermore, beat him in his own match. Texas Death Match. Anything goes. And because anything goes, Swerve Strickland is going to get the win. 1, 2, 3, and then we head into World's End rubber match to decide who ultimately wins this feud, this rivalry. Because again, these two men have nowhere to go if it just ends here and now. They have absolutely nowhere to go. And in my opinion, if Hangman Adam Page wins this match, he's pretty much done with this feud. He's pretty much done with this rivalry. 2-0. That's it. Where do you go from there? Just keep these two going back and forth, one-on-one. Keep this rivalry going, heading into World's End. And then next year, 2024, you start towards maybe a Swerve Strickland World Championship reign. Maybe a Hangman Adam Page International Championship reign. Okay? Let's just get him through the rest of the year. For now, Swerve Strickland gets the win. We've got a tag team match, an orthodox tag team match, a match that honestly, I wasn't expecting to ever see these two team in AEW. And again, I'm not too familiar with their history in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so correct me if I'm wrong. But here's the thing, they have a name, the Golden Jets, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho. But the one thing that I remember about New Japan Pro Wrestling, between these two, pretty much the only thing I remember about these two ever interacting in New Japan, was that they had a tremendous match back in 2018, I want to say. So how they got together, how they're a tag team, how they have their own name, that's a little bit surprising to me. But again, like I said, not really familiar with New Japan, so that's on me. That's on me. I just don't see any way possible the Young Bucks lose this match. I don't think the Young Bucks should lose this match at all. It's a put-together team. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, meaning they haven't tagged in years. Young Bucks have tagged their entire life. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho have showed a little bit of tension amongst each other, backstage segments and all, even though there has been some tension between the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and they might play into the storyline that Kenny Omega himself, with a little bit of help from Chris Jericho, might be able to put the Young Bucks away. Even then, and on top of that, you have to add to the fact that the Young Bucks already failed in their pursuit of the tag team titles against first FTR, and now the tag team titles are Ricky Starks and Big Bill. But, so, again, this match could go any which way, honestly. Because Young Bucks are not getting a tag team title shot anytime soon. I believe they are. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho beating the Young Bucks, that'd be surprising to me. But again, I'm just going to go with the very, very obvious answer. And I'm pretty much sure you got a different one, but here goes nothing. Young Bucks for the win. A little bit more of tension between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. A little bit more tension of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega telling him that he shouldn't trust Chris Jericho. Build that tension up. Who knows? Who knows? And if I'm not mistaken, there's also a tag team title shot on the line, if I'm not mistaken. So that comes into play. Young Bucks get a tag team title shot. So, yeah, on top of that, Young Bucks are going to get the win no matter what. TBS title on the line, Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, easy peasy. Again, TBS title, mid-card title of the women's division. Not really much going on there. Not really much going on with the characters of Julia Hart and Sky Blue, gotta say. Again, I try to analyze things from a character standpoint. And none of these two wrestlers, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, they're superstars. Their momentum is nowhere near where it needs to be to become TBS champion. So I got to give the win to Chris Statlander, retain her title. And please, Tony Khan, start focusing on building people up in the women's division to get to those title shots. And actually build them up. Not just random eliminator matches to decide number one contenders. Because that does nothing. At least from my point of view. Chris Statlander for the win. And finally, we got a 4-way tag team title match. Ricky Starks and Big Bill, unorthodox tag team. Surprising as hell when they won the tag team titles on Collision. I was not expecting that. But they're facing off against La Facción Ingobernable, Rush, and Dralístico. They're going to be the spot team in the match, of course. High spots here, high spots there. crash and burn. All in all, they're not going to win the tag team titles. You got the Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black and Brody King. They got to give Black and Brody King some gold. They got to give them some legitimacy. They got to give them some wins currently in AEW. But, and again, it's not WWE, it's AEW. So heel versus heel, it wouldn't be the strangest thing to happen. But I don't see the Kings of the Black Throne winning this match. FTR is definitely not going to win it. Because you have the Young Bucks and FTR one more time down the line. We've seen that, done that. Do you want to see it again? Fine, let's go ahead. But I honestly see Ricky Starks and Big Bill retaining the tag team titles, facing off against the Young Bucks, who are going to win their match, have the Golden Jets disband. They're going to get the tag team title match. And they'll beat Ricky Starks and Big Bill for the tag team titles. Again, I'm just throwing stuff against the wall. See what happens. Let's see what happens. We still got Rampage tomorrow night on TNT. I don't think there's a collision, maybe. There might be a collision because Full Gear is on Saturday. Gotta catch up on how the calendars worked up for this weekend for AEW. But with that said, those are my predictions. Those are my thoughts on the card for Full Gear this Saturday in Los Angeles, California at the Forum in Inglewood, California. What are your thoughts? Who do you think is walking out with the wins? Who do you think is walking out with the gold from the Forum in Inglewood this upcoming weekend? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. In the meantime, tune in later on tonight to Access TV for another episode of Impact Wrestling. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.